Wait a minute. That's not my Switch. Intro. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright. Hello and welcome to Modern Broadcast. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Lenovo Legion Go handheld. Now this machine is definitely hefty and a powerhouse to be reckoned with. And this is going to compete with like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, even the Loki, the AYN Loki, and the similar like devices. So this is kind of the new kid on the block right now. It came out just a couple months ago. We got our hands on one today, and we're going to do an unboxing today, some just kind of out of the box experience, and then maybe in a later video do some more gameplay testing, really see what the device is capable of, and then maybe come back, circle back in a couple months and see what are our thoughts after a couple months of use. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is quite the shoebox we have here. I was surprised when the box came. I mean, seeing the device, the demo, I mean, it's huge. But when the box came out, I was like, oh, that's ginormous. So insert your own jokes there. And let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing process and see what it has to offer. So here, taking a look at the top of the box. Quite an interesting design here. We went with leg. So this is the Lenovo leg is what we're going to be going with here. It's got this kind of reflective leg, shiny, so smooth. And Lenovo's logo up here on the side. On the side here, we have some specs of the Lenovo. We have an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme 3.3 gigahertz, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD storage, an integrated GPU, an 8.8 display, and a 2-cell battery with Windows 11 Home on it. So this is the black model. I think there's only the black model, but it specifies that as well. So on the side we just have Lenovo Legion, and same thing on this side. I forgot my handy dandy kniff, so I'll be right back. And with my handy dandy kniff here, we're going to go ahead and get this opened up. Alright, so right away we see kind of a design of the handheld. Feels like it's in a case. Yeah, there's a case underneath here. So we're going to leave that for a moment. Let's see the accessories that we get, just because always got to start with the good stuff first, right? Inside this giant box, we have one cable, and this is going to be our power brick. I believe Type-C. Yep, Type-C. It looks like it might even disconnect here. Maybe it just gives it some room. I don't know if I like that. It just kind of wiggles. I mean, I guess it makes it so it's bendy, but okay. We'll go ahead and set that aside. Removing the case here. Get the best from your device with Lenovo services. Some information there. And nothing underneath. So it looks like we have some information here along the sides. Basically, 1, plug in the Type-C into the device. 2, plug in the power adapter. 3, hit the power button. Okay, that's the power button. I didn't know what was going on there. Hit the power button. On the back here, we have that you can use it in game mode. You can use it in first-person shooter. The Joy-Con is kind of standing upright. That's interesting. Use it as a desktop, or you can read about the manual. So here we have the hard clamshell case. Very durable, very thick as well. We got something here. What is that? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I see the charge port right there. So you can charge the device up when it's in the case. Let's go ahead and get this unzipped. And then we have the device itself. We'll set that aside just for a moment here. Underneath, oh, we have like the slider. So it was in here. And it says you do this with like first-person shooters. So this must slide. It's very slick under here. Yeah, I mean on my rough workbench in the garage, it's able to slide over there pretty easily. So set that aside. We have another cutout here for something, but there's nothing there. So maybe a micro SD card? Maybe? Not sure. And here is the monstrous handheld. Wow. It's quite hefty. We'll weigh it. We'll see what this weighs. But this is very nice. I mean, that screen is ginormous. It forces you to look at it. Hey, it's very reflective. So here we have the device. Yeah, this is surprisingly comfortable. I thought this for sure was going to be kind of a lot. And it is. I mean, there is some heft here. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I guess let's go over the button layout. See, so we have, looks like a Lenovo button up here. A nice stick that clicks in. A good D-pad. Looks like start, select. Looks kind of like a setting button up here. Our A, B, X, Y buttons. They feel good. They feel not like Switch buttons, but maybe like the Wii, like A button, Another stick. And these sticks are very nice, very smooth. And it looks like we have a trackpad here as well. On top of the device, left bumper, left trigger. Looks like volume up and down. The charge port a micro SD card slot, some venting, a headphone jack, and a power button with our right bumper and right trigger. On the bottom of the device looks like we have another Type-C port. And interestingly enough, on the right pad here, we have an off and FPS mode, and then a laser. So yes, this definitely disconnects, goes in here, and it kind of becomes like a mouse, but vertically. That'll be interesting. On this side, we have our mouse 1 and mouse 2, but you kind of have to deliberately push them. They're not, like when holding it in handheld mode, it's not in my way exactly. I guess if you squeeze the controller for whatever reason, maybe. On the back of the device, we have a whole slew of buttons and little things here. So we got a scroll wheel here, 2 more buttons. Looks like it says MS and Y3. Then we have a button down here. I bet you this disengages the Joy-Con. Okay. Not as many buttons on the left side. Looks like we just have Y1, Y2, and another button down here. On the back of the device, pretty clean. Just have an intake. And then we have this square, which I think, yeah, folds out to a kickstand. Perfect. Now before we boot up the device, I'm going to go ahead and remove the cons just to see. I don't know if I have to push that button or if they just come out. Let's see. Okay, yep. Push the button down here at the bottom, and they come out. And I saw that there's 3D printed, like, controller slots, kind of like the Nintendo Switch had, to, you know, kind of make it a little bit more comfortable. Otherwise, you're kind of juggling these a little bit while you're playing your game. But it's comfy. They're surprisingly comfy in the hand. There we have it. Let's go ahead and get it charged up. We'll get some games on there and boot it up. All right. So, first thing first, let's go ahead and get this booted up here. I did put a couple of games on here through Steam. We updated the drivers. I'm going to show you how to do all that. It was just a lot of kind of just first time setup maintenance that had to get done. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to exit out of here out of Steam real quick. Exit big picture mode. There we go. Okay, so when you first boot up the system and after you go through the whole setup process, which is just a Windows 11 setup process, we've seen it a million times. I figured we'd skip it for this. But when you get to the screen, you won't have all the games installed. These are just a few that I have installed on the system. But what you're going to want to do is this icon down here at the bottom is you are going to want to open that. That is the Legion. It's going to install. It's going to prompt to install first. Once that is done, that's how you really edit this console and get everything updated for it, is through this app here. And so by default, this is going to be, after you've installed it, this is going to be your default button to bring this up and get rid of it. I've now switched mine out to be this button, and I'll go over how to do that. And by default, this button here is to bring up kind of the side panel. Tells you your battery life of the console, of the 2 not Joy-Cons, and some basic performance boosts and things that we can do here. So once we're in this app here, what you're going to want to do for the first time is you're going to go to menu. You're going to want to scroll down to settings, and then you'll want to go all the way down to drivers. So you're going to go ahead and click on drivers, and if this is your first time, it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff. Just start updating everything. Nothing is going to, if you don't have a setting that I'm about to go over, you did not update your drivers. I cannot wait to see the comments, because I'm going to get comments. Mine doesn't have that setting. Mine doesn't look like that. Drivers. Drivers. That's going to be the first and foremost thing that you do. After that, you're probably going to install Chrome or some form of browser and get Steam on your system. So anyways, so now that you have updated the drivers, you've downloaded Steam, you know, that usual process, that usual setup, that's all fine and dandy. You're going to go back to the systems. Performance, this is when you're going to do, if you want performance mode, you know, just using the maximum amount of power as possible, power saving, or you can do custom presets and make your own what you want. Okay, network, get connected to the internet. Display, so what a lot of people do to get better battery life out of their Legions is they go to resolution and they half it. They go to 800 and then use a third-party app to upscale it. I have not gone through that process. I probably won't go through that process in this video, but in a later video, we could do that. You can also change your display refresh rate. So under controller, you can change the vibration to be weak, where it's just a little bit. There it goes. First time I must have accidentally touched B. Anyways, weak, medium, or strong. And if we scroll down here, what you're going to want to do, well, It's up to you. If you want to switch the button layout. So this is the default button to bring up the Legion app. I've now switched it to be here. I found when playing games, because of Joy-Cons, naturally when I wanted to hit start, I would reach here. If I wanted to hit select, I'd reach here. Instead, to start and select, by default, you have to stretch down here to push start, and it's just uncomfortable. So this was way better, and I'm glad that they implemented this. Again, I'm going to say this here, because if people see this part and go, I don't have that, go earlier in the video and update your drivers. Okay, we covered it. Here there's some firmware updates. You can check the firmware, and the battery status gives that to you there as well. Under customize, we can change our little lights that we have here, change different effects, and see, whoops, there we go. Lighting effect 2. Just make it rainbow. You can do really whatever you want. The brightness levels. Yeah. Under here for disk space. So this gives you a nice, easy way to check your disk space. I mean, you could also use the trackpad and do it like Windows 11, by going to File Manager, File Explorer. But this is just a nice kind of quicker way, in my opinion, with the controller to do so. Screenshots of the shortcut for that. Looks like right bumper and Y3, which I think is on the back. And there we have it. Once you get everything set up in here, you can use this as a launcher. Right now I'm not connected to the internet. I'm not home right now, but I'm not, it's bad. It's not good. Don't use it. Or do, if that's your thing, if you like poor experiences. Just get the Steam one and just launch that in big picture mode and have that boot right away. So as far as performance goes on this handheld, I was playing Final Fantasy XIV on it. Phenomenal. That game does a really good job, controller support, and just a really enjoyable experience. My wife has been playing this, and she put her profile on here, and she's been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate on this handheld. She does have to plug it in after about an hour and a half, but she's playing on performance mode, getting about an hour and a half, and then she's got to plug it in before we start seeing some stutters. But it handles it really well on the system. A couple other games that we've tried on here is some Sonic Frontier, Superstars, and then Spider-Man Remastered. It has just been a blast playing. We're going to go ahead and we'll do a stress test and gameplay footage video, a gameplay video later down the road, because I am going to start bringing handhelds back. Instead of just doing the unboxing and first impressions and then I leave it and it's gone forever, we're going to start bringing the consoles back. So if there's anything you specifically want to see running on this handheld, leave a comment down below and let me know what it is, and I'll see if I can secure a copy of it, and we'll be able to test it out. So.
Friends, there's a fine line between being a conspiracy theorist and seeing a clear pattern. I walk that line, and I am confident in perceiving a common thread among these attacks on Oscorp and Norman Osborn by the demon. The motive? It's hard to ascribe motive to lunatics, but I suspect it's no accident that they're striking at both a pillar of our corporate community and the center of our city's government. It's our very way of life that's under assault, as I have always warned. If you've been listening... Does it seriously take this many guys to rob a teenager?
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on the Lenovo Legion Go? This handheld, I've been playing with it, and I gotta say, it's a nice experience. I like this more than my Loki. Really phenomenal. It's right up there with the Steam Deck, and the screen is absolutely beautiful. So let me know in the comment section what you think on this device, and be sure to check out modernbroadcast.tv, as I am getting some new stuff uploaded on there, so that way there's some new shirts, there's some new merch, and we're going to be doing coffee pre-orders. Have a great week, everyone, and take care.